here with reaction to all of this, Fox Nation host Lara Logan and Adam Boehler, who has himself negotiated with the Taliban. I noticed a tweet, Lara, of you earlier today saying, can we stop pretending the Taliban isn't a terrorist organization? They did release all of these terrorists that were in prison when they immediately took power. So that game, we need to stop pretending. I agree with you.
Yeah, Sean, I mean, one of the most absurd things for us to witness, I mean, I don't know, I know there are people sitting at home just like me who are watching this and thinking, like, how can they stand and lie on this scale? It's just extraordinary. They know perfectly well that the Taliban and Al-Qaeda and ISIS, the distinctions between these groups are just power struggles, internal power struggles. Some of it is part of deception operations, you know? I mean, if you're designated like Al-Qaeda is as a terrorist organization, what do? You move your people into, say, the Taliban, because they're not designated, and you operate like that. But when General John Campbell's forces uncovered the largest Al-Qaeda base ever found anywhere in the world in October 2015, where was it? In southern Afghanistan. Who was there? 30 square miles, where the Taliban and Al-Qaeda were training together, were working together. I mean, they're married into each other's families, for goodness sake. And, you know, you just had the acting president of Afghanistan, the former vice president, Amrullah Saleh, who under the Afghan constitution is now president, now their leader. And he told me in an interview not so long ago that when they pick up these prisoners, or when they pick them up from the battlefield and interrogate them, they find that today they're ISIS, 2 weeks ago they were Taliban, 2 years ago they were Al-Qaeda, you know, and it's sort of an ongoing circle. And there isn't a counterterrorism expert anywhere in the world who will tell you anything else with a straight face.
Yeah, and Adam, you've had a chance to negotiate with them. Clearly, they are terrorists. Now we have Americans with a very strong likelihood that by Monday that we're going to be leaving Americans behind enemy lines, which is why we brought the vice president, now acting president, on to see if there's any chance that we can somehow find these Americans left behind and get them transported to the north to safety when we can extract them. Are they a terrorist organization? And why did Joe Biden not act as they were taking over larger and larger portions of the country going back to March, April, May, and June and July? Why would he not have moved up any withdrawal to a point when it was safe, when we controlled Kabul?
It's hard for me to explain, Sean. I mean, at the end of the day, first let me comment, this is what happens when you have a terrorist organization where there's no accountability. You get behavior like this. And so when we pull out with our tail between our legs, there's nothing to stop this kind of behavior and releasing ISIS-K prisoners. I was listening to the TV yesterday when the Taliban spokesman said there's no proof that Osama bin Laden perpetrated 9/11. You know, that kind of brazen talk tells you how they're feeling. They're feeling pretty good right now, and that's a real problem. The second thing about the date and Monday is I don't think you define a mission based on an arbitrary date. You define a mission based on an outcome. And the mission here is get Americans and our allies out under any circumstances. That's what the mission should be, not Monday. Who cares about Monday?
Laura, we'll give you the last word. What should happen from here, and what do you foresee as of Tuesday?
Well, first of all, the United States government needs to recognize the Afghan president and our allies who are fighting. The United States also needs to do what they should have done a long time ago and declare the Taliban a foreign terrorist organization, which they are. We also need to get humanitarian supplies into the Panjshir Valley to help these people, and Congress needs to act. Congress and leaders on both sides of the aisle, this is a Republican-Democrat problem because American weakness is a problem for every American. They need to act to pass laws to make it illegal for anyone to give assistance to the Taliban because they are a terrorist regime.
This is a disaster, and it's going to get worse. I pray to God I'm wrong. I don't think I am, and I don't think Laura or Adam are either.
You're right, Sean.
I wish I wasn't. I wish I could say I was wrong. I really do.